Hi everyone, it's Lehman with Lace Covered Skies. I'm here today to do part 2 of my junky junk journal process video. And last time we looked at the things that I had been saving, and in between that video and this one I kind of went through the boxes and picked out the things I think I want to put in this junk journal. And I think that this is going to be my cover, this Rice Krispie Treats box. And I think I'm going to make it from this part of the box to the bottom part of the cover or the picture. I'm not going to include these flaps. So what I have been doing is I have been cutting the flaps off of the boxes, and some I've left on, so I'm gonna have to decide how I want each box to be configured. But when I cut off the flaps, I've been putting them into this box right here because I plan to use these pieces as well. So I'm just kind of gathering them in there, but I think I'm gonna go ahead and show you how I've been cutting the parts that I'm not going to use off. And I really hope I can stay in frame because this is pretty big. Now I want to keep this intact actually, because I want to do something with this folding piece right here that latches in, but the sides are ripped. Actually, I think I'm just going to use like a smaller piece, so that'll be fine. All right, so let's go ahead and start cutting. I'm going to try to stay in frame, but these boxes are so big that I'm going to probably go in and out of frame. So I'm just going to show you how I prep some of the boxes, and then once the video gets too long, I think I am going to go off camera and finish prepping them, and in the next video I will come back and kind of assemble what I have. So just cutting the side off, and this is going to be great for a journaling card because it's nice and big, it's blank in the back, and in the front there's something going on. So I think that's going to be a great tag. So let's go ahead and cut this off. I am in such a hoarding mood of packaging, and the things that I use in my daily life, they really don't require a lot of packaging. So, and I did mention this in my last video, but now I'm just like, I should have tried to be more aware and kept more things. Like, who would have thought that I would be such a trash hoarder? And I am asking a lot of my friends and family to save things for me. So I hope I get some more things. And if you do this kind of thing, or I mean even just junk journals, we repurpose a lot of stuff, and I think it's really cool. I definitely, before I did junk journals, I did always save a lot of these cardboard type things because I did other crafts that needed cardboard, and I never wanted to be in a spot where I needed something and I didn't have enough of it. So it's always been a habit of mine, but now that I'm doing this kind of thing, it's even more like critical. So this is a really little piece. I'm just going to stick it in this box so I have all the little pieces in one place. Now another thing you can do, which I'm going to do with other things, is you can leave, like, let's say that, so that it could be a pocket like this. But I don't think I'm going to do that for the cover. I've been thinking of doing a video about all the things I save, because I've noticed that as time goes by, I save more and more things. It's pretty crazy. All right, so if you notice, this side is portrait, like the configuration is portrait, and this side is landscape. It's the wider one. Since I'm making a journal out of it, I want it to be portrait side, like portrait configuration on the front cover. So this is what I'm going to work off of, and I'm going to go ahead and cut this part off. When I make regular junk journals, I normally am not very meticulous. Like, I could never sew clothing, because I know when you sew clothing, you have to be very meticulous, very exact and all that. And that's just not me. I mean, I think I do plan things out pretty well, and I'm not a big measurer, but I think I do a decent job with normal journals. But with this type of journal, it's even good if it's messy, because it adds to the charm of it, I think. All right, so my cover, I'm looking for my ruler. My cover is going to be 9 by 11. So since this is the front, okay, now before I continue, I need to think about the spine. I think I was thinking of this size spine, which is a leftover piece of chipboard that I had. It's almost 2 inches. I don't think that's going to be big enough, but I really want to use this chipboard up. It's more like I'm lazy to cut another piece of chipboard, because this is from a 3-ring binder, just a regular 3-ring binder. And their chipboard is really thick. So that's what I've been buying. Like, when I go to estate sales, if I see a beat up 3-ring binder, just a normal 3-ring binder, I'll pick it up, because I take off the covering of it and I know there's really good chipboard underneath. But it is really hard to cut. So I think I want like a 2.5 inch spine, but this is not even 2 inches. So if I want my spine, 2.5, which would come out to here. I mean, this is a very junky junk journal, so I'm even thinking I could leave that much for the spine, but bind it within this and just have it be more open. Now, that's a very junky way of making a spine, but I think I might do it, because I mean, this is a really junky junk journal. Or I could put down another piece here to reinforce it a little bit. So I think I'll decide that later, but since I know that I want it to be 2.5 inches, let me just fold it so that it equals 2.5 inches. Okay. Now this is not my favorite part either. I need to fold this so that it's about right there. So let's just use the ruler. And I'm not working on a flat surface right now. This is like such a mess. But I think I'm just gonna do this and hopefully it's even and it works. Okay. There. So I started the crease with the ruler. Now I'm gonna finish folding it. Get out my bone folder. Okay. So as you can see, I folded it right there. So this is gonna be my journal. It's gonna be 2.5-inch spine, and I need to I said this was 9 inches, right? Yeah, 9 inches. So I am going to go in here, measure out 9 inches. And then go on the top side and measure out 9 inches. And then it's like not even. But something weird is going on. All right. So I'm just gonna go ahead and cut. All right. There we go. Now, if this was a regular journal, I wouldn't have just winged it like that. But, so my back cover is going to look like this. That's the back, and that is the front. Now, when I go off camera, I will be making a piece that's going to strengthen the spine. And I haven't decided if I'll just strengthen it with a little piece that's slightly smaller than the spine and then just bind it, kind of space it out so that it can alligator out and I'm not actually binding on the actual wider spine, if that makes sense. But I'll come back on camera and show you what I decided to do. But I just wanted to show you that part first, and we'll just continue cutting off more. So everything I cut needs to be within this length or this size. So this is a contact lens box, as you can see. And I want it to be facing this way since it does fit in here. So I'm going to be cutting off the flaps. So let me cut off okay. I'm going to cut off the flaps that are a little bit more beat up. And what I want to do is, well, this is a better example, but see how this looks like a tab? I want to save these and make them into tabs. And this one might become a tab, might become a card. But let me go ahead and cut the rest off. I was thinking of speeding this process up. I still might do it and then do a voiceover. The reason I don't edit my videos anymore is because there's not enough memory on my phone for me to edit a video and then save it, because I'm always running out of room on my phone. But I might try to do it with this one and maybe speed this up and do a voiceover. Okay, so there we go. Now I'm gonna make this a page on its own. So this needs to be split apart. So I'm gonna cut this open very imperfectly. See, if I was, okay, let me explain it once I cut it. It's really hard to cut like this. Okay. Now, if I wanted this to be a page in the book, I would probably sew it in right here as a signature, and it would fit. But the reason why I decided not to do that is because I wanted this picture facing this way. And I'm thinking of gluing these in to turn them into pockets. Or not, yeah, pockets. So one option would have been to sew in the signature right here, and then as you flip it, you come across this, and you come across this. But because I want it this way, I think what I might do is, let's just do it. This is not going to be sewn into the signature. So what I think I'm going to do is fold this up and perhaps, okay, let me cut this. I have so many lights on now. I usually run very cold. I don't get hot very easily. But I have so many lights on from my filming that I'm like sweating. All right, so I could use this little flap to sew it into the signature and then glue this up and make it into a pocket. And I think that's what I'm gonna do. But because this is kind of wide for this, I'm gonna go ahead and cut this off. There. So what I'll do is glue this down, and this is going to become a page. So we have one page right there. Then I am going to, let's go ahead and measure this one. It's going to be sewed in on this side, and as you can see, this is too big, so I'm gonna cut this off. Actually, let me cut it apart first. So I'm gonna cut this apart. And I really was looking forward to doing this journal because in most of my journals, I am very like the aesthetics are really important to me. So doing this where you're really focusing on the packaging and making it look very makeshifty, if that makes sense, it's kind of exciting because I don't need to focus so much on making it pretty, even though I really enjoy that. This is just kind of like freeing. Okay, so if this is a page and I open it, and there's a little square pocket up here. I think I like that. So what I would do is glue this down. Another thing I'm doing with this journal is I'm only using glue and staples. I'm not going to be sewing, which is challenging as well. But I think I'm just not going to sew on this one. Because I want to make this tutorial one for beginners, and if someone doesn't have a sewing machine, I want to be able to like be relatable to that person too. All right, so let's take a look at this. So this is going to be sewed in on this side, and the page is, so let's say this is the book. So this is going to be one page, and it has a little pocket right here. And then this is going to be another page, and it's going to have a little pocket in here. And then this is going to be a short little page. I will probably end up connecting something on this side. All right, so we have 2 pages right there. And let's get to this box because this is a fun one. I think this is the last one I'm going to do, and then I'm going to shut the camera off. But what I was thinking of for this one is having this little hole right here. It's that part in the box where you carry the box. I'm going to have the little hole, and I know that it cannot be wider than the Rice Krispies box. So first of all, these are going to be pockets. They're going to be glued up for pockets. And I think, what if I fold it this way? All right, I think I'm going to work on this one off camera because it's so big, and then I'll come back on and show you guys. But let's see what else I have on here. I have this box, and I never eat cereal. Actually, this fits perfect. I was going to do half, so I could save half the box for another project. But I think I'll just use the whole box. You see how I'm like in this hoarding mentality? Let me go ahead and cut the top off. I'm just going to cut it a little bit smaller than its normal size because it's slightly bigger than the Rice Krispies box. Okay. Now in here, this would be perfect for a tab. This little piece right here. I think that'll be really fun as a tab. And then I'll just save this in case I want to use it for something later. This is another good tab. All right. So I hope I'm showing you guys enough on camera. You saw how I prepped some of the boxes. In my next video, I'm going to come back and show you everything that's prepped. So show you in detail how everything was prepped and all that. So if you like this type of journal, please give me a thumbs up so I know. It's definitely not my normal style, and it's not something I'm going to be doing a lot of, but I thought it would be a fun little break to work on something like this. And I just want to say thank you so much for watching. If you want to see more videos from me, please consider subscribing to my channel, and I will talk to you next time. Bye everyone.